Hello all. Got an interesting review right now. Narragansett. So this beer has an interesting story behind it. It was defunct completely, and then I believe a private company or people or someone bought the brand and started brewing it again like 20 years ago or something like that. So it's not owned by Pabst or Molson Miller Coors or anything like that. Kind of independent, I guess, sort of. And it's only really available in New England. So it's got 5% alcohol. I feel like it used to be 5.1. And it's about the same price as PBR around here. It looks a lot like it too. Very carbonated. Yep, looks the part for the most part. Maybe it's a little bit more golden. More like High Life or something? Well, I guess you should get the picture there. Official beer, the clam. Doesn't say it on there, but that's their slogan. Is High Neighbor too. I don't really know what's in this. I think it's a corn lager, probably corn instead of rice. You can actually smell hops in it. Let's see what the date on this is. There are some numbers that I don't really know on there. But this sells pretty well. It sells like PBR, maybe even better in some places. It smells a little corny. A little like, dry, grainy. And there's a little bit of a fruity, herbal hop thing maybe going on in there. It's definitely not from the East. It doesn't smell too musky or scary or anything. No DMS. Not quite grassy though, not that hoppy. A good body, it's not sweet and soda-like. I actually get a deep barley flavor. A little bit of a toasted, almost like corn tortilla type thing. That's quite nice. A little bit sweet. I guess this is more comparable with Budweiser than PBR or High Life. Those two are a little bit lower alcohol. This is the same as Budweiser at 5. But I think at least in macro beers like this, even though this isn't owned by the big company, they still call this a macro beer for sure. I think I like corn in the macro beers. I like a lot of craft rice lagers, but that's because they're using other good ingredients. I feel like if it's just rice and you don't have interesting hops or good Pilsner malt in there, then it's gonna taste like Bud, which is flabby to me, and I'm not a huge fan. It has some good body and sweetness and good amount of malt flavor. It's still pretty dry in the finish. Not as dry as PBR. But a lot of flavor and pleasant flavor, and it lingers with kind of a grape-like sweetness that I think is the interplay of the malts and the hops. It's definitely good. I would recommend anyone who came to New England to get it. Cheaper than Yingling too. Yingling is a pretty different style. That's definitely an amber lager made with adjunct cereal grains. But this one's really good. I don't know. I guess I don't get it as often because it's 5%. So when I want a beer like this, I usually want something that's a little lower alcohol, lighter. But I should return to this more often when I'm almost wanting something more like a Helles. It's definitely sort of the American Helles, perhaps, in a way. Of course, not all malt, though. So there's a solid 4. Not a bad beer. Bye.